So I also have the plank, which is another very important exercise that many of you guys can do regularly, but there is some discrepancy at how people do it. So as you do the plank, it's not about time. So even if you went for 3 minutes, if the 3 minutes you had bad form, then it's not, you can't really count that. I would rather you do 1 minute with really good form than 3 minutes trying to cheat, because a lot of times people will go into the plank, they'll be really good, nice and straight, so you guys know that the back, core, legs, and everything's supposed to be straight, and then as the plank goes on, they start to sag, and their back will go down, they'll kind of let their back go up, something like that. And why I'm teaching the plank first before the push-up is because your push-up form should be based off your plank form. A push-up is basically a moving plank. The position that you're in, how your body is oriented, that is how you should be doing a push-up as well. So if I have my arms here, doesn't matter if they're out like this or together, as long as I'm supporting it like this. I make sure that I tense my core. So I already explained how to do that. Suck your breath in, kind of flex your stomach like someone's about to punch you, and try and hold that. Make sure to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep your back straight, keep your legs straight, so don't bend your legs, don't push them up, don't push your butt up. Try to keep everything as straight as possible and just hold that. Normally trying to do this for long periods of time is a lot easier with music or videos. Okay. Alright, so for push-ups, now that we've learned what a plank form should be more like, and you have a solid plank, like I explained, a push-up is a moving plank. So you'll see here that if I am in the ready to go position for the push-up, that is basically a plank. I am holding myself here. Now granted, my arms are down here like this, but everything else is still the same. My back should still be the same, my core being tense should be the same. So as I do a push-up, breathe in, tense my core, and then I go down all the way to the ground. And I come back up. Alright, so a lot of you probably think that you can definitely do a lot of high number of push-ups, but the thing is that the quality of the push-ups is more important than the quantity. So just like our strokes, you want to be more efficient with them, and it doesn't matter about how many you take or how strong you think they might be. You still want to be efficient, and you want to make sure that they have great quality. So as we do them, I'm going to break down all the little small parts that people kind of mess up on. So first thing is that hand placement. So it should be, once again, be about shoulder length apart. So you'll see here, my hand goes there, my hand goes there. So that's about shoulder length apart. It's a straight line from the outside of my shoulder. You don't want to have it too in, because you can see that this is not straight. So you want to have it shoulder length apart. Your thumbs, okay, you want to space your hands out. You don't want to keep them close together. You don't want to make a fist or anything. Keep them spaced out, fingers apart. Thumbs, kind of orient them more upwards, so facing the direction that you're pointed, right? So thumbs here, then come down. Then you're going to adjust yourself more forward. So instead of being really far back here, you want to shift your weight more forward, and I'll go into that in just a second. Okay, so we've covered the hand placement, so they're here now, but you can see now that as a lot of people do push-ups, they'll kind of just sit right there on top of their hands. What this does is that as I go down, look at how my elbows are pointing. So I'm just gonna rest here, and you can see that my elbows are pointed very acutely. So that's not good for my elbows, that I'm not getting the full exercise for my hands. Now doing it correctly is going to be more difficult, yes, but it's going to pay off in the long term, trust me. And this is what really will add greater quality and will lower the number of push-ups you have to do to get a good exercise in. So if I move my weight up just a little bit, if I shift my body forward, now as I go down, then my elbows will maintain more of a 90-degree angle, right? So push myself up, go down, and you can see the angle of my elbows is not like acute pointed backwards, right? So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but this is definitely how you should be trying to train your push-ups. The other part of this as well is that you can see that instead of stopping halfway like this, that's not a full push-up. You're stopping in the middle of the movement, and then you're not getting the full range of motion, you're not working the muscle to its fullest extent. So you want to make sure that you try and go down as low as possible, get your chest to the ground, and then come back up. So to contrast it, I'm going to show you what a average push-up will look like that most people do, and they probably think that they're doing it correctly. So first off, hand orientation, my hands are just gonna be facing straight forward. I'm probably gonna put it some random place. This is already not shoulder length apart, so it's gonna make it a little bit more off. You're gonna be working different muscle groups this way. There are push-up variations, but for the normal standard push-up, we're gonna train it a certain way, right? So it's gonna be kind of like out here, randomly placed. My hands are just gonna be pointed straight forward. And then as I come down, my elbows are gonna flare straight out like this. And I'm probably just gonna go like halfway down till my elbows are at a 90-degree angle, and I'm gonna come back up. And this is the average push-up that I see a lot of people doing. So yes, I may be able to do about 60 of those, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting as good of a workout that I should, or that I have the strength and training afterwards that a full range of motion push-up would give me. Okay, so putting everything together, we're gonna recap all of it, put it together, and make a solid push-up. And even if you can only do 5 of these, this is a much better improvement. The bad version of push-ups, I can do 100 of those easily in one workout session. But in one workout session, I'm about tapped out after I do only 40 of the good push-ups. So even if you can only do 5 and your numbers go down, it's more about the quality rather than the quantity. Okay, so hands spread apart, thumbs facing forward, shoulder length apart. Okay, shift your weight more forward, and then try and come down. It doesn't matter how fast you do it. You can do it fast or slow. Try and come down, keep the elbows like that. Okay, just to the ground, I'm holding myself here, and then push yourself back up. If you need to, I'm going to show you a variation up next that's not going to be knee push-ups. Knee push-ups kind of limit you and make the training harder. Okay, so if you're struggling with just one of those, here's a variation that you can do to help train yourself into getting into the good quality push-ups. Right, so they're called incline push-ups, so it doesn't matter if you use a dining table or your bathroom granite counter or a chair. The higher up you are, so if I'm up here like this and I'm doing it against a wall, it'll be super easy. The lower you are, the harder it's gonna be. So the higher up, it's gonna be easier. Lower is gonna be harder, right? So we'll just use this as an example. So you wanna set it up exactly the same way. So hands about shoulder width apart, get them oriented, right? Put it on the surface that you wanna use. Okay, now move your feet back so that way you have a nice straight back, pretending that you're supposed to be facing the ground, right? So you're trying to mimic the exercise except on an incline. Okay, and then do the push-up. Alright, so you can do as many of those as you need to, and if you keep on doing them, eventually it will train your muscles to the point where you can do one of the better quality ones on the ground, and you should do these instead of the knee push-ups.